Suppose I came to you and offered you a job. I'll tell you it can be the most rewarding job on earth, but to do it well, you must be available 24/7. Your needs always come last, you get no day off, and you don't get paid. All right? All right, who would take that job? Well, about 74 million women in America have, because that's how many moms we have out there. But some moms have serious regrets, they feel trapped and want to quit. Lauren says she was pressured into motherhood, she has 2 kids, and says she flat out doesn't want them.
I hate being a mom.
You wouldn't let me go places after school and stuff?
No, I did. I feel anger, I feel cheated, and I feel resentment.
Nope, I'm not even gonna go there with you.
I first became pregnant at the age of 20 with my son. I thought about giving the baby up for adoption. My mother became furious when I told her about my decision, so I kept my son. When I found out I was pregnant with my daughter, I had absolutely no hope. I talked to the father about adoption, and he said no way. I was actually suicidal. I made this huge sacrifice to have these children. I feel like I've lost opportunities. If I didn't have children, I could live in Mexico. I could surf. I could go back to college. I wouldn't have to pay rent on a 3-bedroom house. I could have a studio apartment. I am counting the years until I don't have to parent anymore. I hate my life. I don't want to be a mom. I just want to bail.
You just want to bail.
At times I feel that way.
At times you feel that way, or pretty much all the time you feel that way?
At times when things get really bad.
Okay, so other times you just love them and you're glad they're there and all that, because that wasn't the impression I got from reading all of your notes and studying everything about your situation. I want you to be honest about how you think and feel, because a lot of mothers may think what you're thinking. Right. There may be times where they just say, man, just beam me up, Scotty. I've just had all the motherhood and all that I want. But it seems to me that this has been a bigger deal with you than just sometimes I wish I didn't have them. I mean, how much does this bother you?
It bothers me a lot, and I think because it's been so long, it's been 12 years, I'm getting burnt out. You know, I tried to have the positive attitude of I'm going to take something negative and I'm going to turn it into a positive. I'm going to do the best job I can. I'm going to embrace what I can of it. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I guess trying to do easy time. And
But
now that they're teenagers, intellectually, I feel like they're playing on that.
But how does it come up with your children? I don't know how this conversation comes about when you say to your children, I wish I wasn't a mother. I wish you weren't here. I wish I didn't have you to deal with.
When they put me up to their criteria as far as what they expect from me as a parent, when they want material things, they blame me because I don't have a better job. So I can't provide those things for them. Their complaints are material.
And so in response to that, you say, I wish I didn't have you kids.
I say, I hate this. I don't even want to do this. And I'm doing the best I can. And you guys are holding me to your criteria.
Okay, but let me ask you something. What does a child say to themselves when their mother says, I wish you weren't here? I wish I'd never had you. I wish you weren't my child.
I'm not that direct.
You're not?
I'm not that direct.
Because we edited that tape piece, and I thought we edited it very kindly.
Okay.
Because it seems to me that you have said that. But if you haven't, say
Not
so
in
now,
this
because I want to know. But I don't want you to
Right.
tell me one thing before you get out here and then come out here and change the story, because then I don't have a chance to fix what's broken.
Okay.
I don't have a chance to fix what's broken, because I tell you, I have an objective here today, and I want to change your thinking. I want to change your opinion, because it seems to me that you're blaming these kids. But for them, you'd be having a wonderful life right now. You said, I'd be surfing in Mexico. Just Gidget goes to Mexico. I'd just be down there surfing around and having a big time. Just tell me about your exotic life before you had these children.
Well, before I had these children, I was 20.
Yeah.
So I didn't have time to develop the exotic feel.
Well, but you're saying they've ruined your life, but for them, you would be doing these things that you were having fun. Who is the father of the first child?
Do you want his name?
No, I just mean, I don't care whether you give me his name or you don't, but I want to know, tell me about Mr. Wonderful.
He's not wonderful.
Okay, but your life was wonderful. You had this great life going before these kids came in and messed it up, so I assume you were with Mr. Wonderful before they got here.
No. See, I feel like you're putting words in my mouth because I didn't say that they ruined my life. I was the one who made those choices.
Okay.
I'm the one who had the poor judgment.
We agree, that's one thing we agree on.
Okay.
Is that you made the choice to get pregnant. You made the choice to have sex.
Correct.
And you got pregnant.
Correct.
And you made the choice, although under duress from your mom, according to you, to keep the child.
Correct.
Okay, and you didn't want to, did you? You wanted to put it up for adoption and have it be gone.
That's right.
Okay, and does your son know that?
Yes, he does.
And you told him that, and tell me about how that conversation went.
Well, because it's been a conflict between my mother and I all these years. It'll come up in conversation.
Mm-hmm. And so somewhere along the way, you just felt like he needed to know, I didn't really want you.
Well, I wanted him to know why my anger was there and why my mother and I have so much conflict.
And because so the conversation is, I want you to know I'm so angry because she made me have you, and I didn't want to. I'm just trying to get your reasoning of how that goes, because I can't imagine.
You just put it a different way than I think it, but that's true.
Yeah, well, you're saying I'm putting words in your mouth. If you love your kids and you're happy you had them, then we need to send you home and go on to the next guest. Because that's not my understanding, and I can't change what you don't acknowledge. So I'm trying to get you to be honest about it.
When you said that, when you were quoting me, pointing my finger at my children saying, you ruined my life and I wish you weren't here, those aren't my words.
Okay, tell me what your words were. Give me the high road version of that.
When we get in conflict, I say, I don't even want to do this. You know, I don't even want to do this. And I'm doing what I consider a very good job, and the kids are telling me that I'm not.
Mm-hmm. What names do you call these kids?
Probably names that we wouldn't want to put on TV.
Yeah, because you call them some disgusting names, right?
Yeah.
By your own description, am I putting those words in your mouth too?
No.
Those words you put in your mouth, right?
Right.
And you know what I'm afraid of? I'm afraid that I'm going to let you sit here and trivialize this. I'm going to let you spin this up in some way where, well, you know, I do get frustrated with them when they wish we had a better life. Because that's the words I hear coming out of your mouth, and that's not what you've been telling us for a week. And I'm afraid you're going to go home as frustrated as you got here and do the same thing with those children you did before you got here and feel the same way you feel before you got here. This is no way for you to live.
No, and that's why I wrote.
This is no way for you to live, but I mean, I hear you telling me a totally different story than you've been telling me all week. We're talking to moms who can't stand motherhood. This is not an easy job, and you all know that. Lauren has often fantasized about leaving her children. And she's told her kids exactly how she feels. So let's just take a look at this.
My mom always says that she doesn't want to be a mom. She said, go find another new mom.
She doesn't want really the responsibility of having us. She's like, I might not come home. It makes us think, what if someday she really does get really angry and does leave, so that's what we have to think about.
She talks about if we were in her life, you know, her life would be way easier. She would have way more money and her job would be easier.
And she's threatened to send me to foster care. Then we yell at her and say, well, it's not our fault, so we shouldn't be at fault because of your decisions.
We thought when she said those things that she might run away. She might try to commit suicide or something like that. We didn't know what she was going to do. What if she will do that? What are we going to do? Where are we going to go? We kind of feel that we were a mistake.
So were they putting words in your mouth too?
No, that was it.
Why did you come here? What do you want from me?
I want you to help us stop all that.
All of what?
That conflict, the lack of cohesion between the three of us, and I know that things need to change.
Do you resent your children?
I resent motherhood. Am I being honest enough with you? I mean,
I don't know. You say you get to say what you want in that chair, and I get to say what I want in this chair.
Okay. Because I keep saying what I want, and you keep not liking it.
No. It's not that I'm not liking what you're saying. I don't want to embarrass you, because I don't think right now you're wanting to be here. Because I can go get those production notes, and I can read to us what you said on the telephone and what you said in the tape piece that we didn't show, and it isn't what you're telling me now.
Okay.
And I'm happy to go do that if you want to do it, or I'll go over with you after the show. I'm not trying to create a problem where there isn't, but what I don't want to do is for you to come in here and gloss over the fact that you resent these children, you threaten them with leaving, you tell them that you wish they weren't there, and you leave them absolutely confused about who they are, where they fit, and how they belong in this world, and then you go home and do the same damn thing again. I don't want that to happen because you get stage fright. My view in this situation is that you are not a victim. You made these choices, and you own your life, you own motherhood, and you own those children, and they didn't ask to have you as their mom.
Right.
They didn't get a vote. They didn't get to look through some pictures and pages and pick out who they wanted for their mom. They got you. And when they show up and you say, I wanted to put you up for adoption, I didn't want you to be here to begin with. I could be off skiing or surfing in Mexico if it wasn't for you children. I think you're blaming them for things, number one, they can't do anything about, and number two, don't have anything to do with where your life is right now. Motherhood is hard. No question about it. It is tough, and I know that. But the truth is, you didn't have a great life before those kids got here, and it's awful easy to blame them for where your life is now because they're handy. You don't go blame the guy working down at the 7-Eleven because A, you don't know him, and B, he doesn't care what you think. But here you have these children captive, and it's awful easy to say, I don't like my life, and it's because of motherhood. And the truth is, your life wasn't glorious before motherhood. And it can be glorious inside of motherhood. What are these children supposed to do when you say, I wish this, whatever words you want to choose here, I wish we weren't in this mother-child relationship. How's that? I wish I didn't have this burden and this control of working with you as children. I don't think that's exactly how you say it.
Okay.
True?
True.
Because what you say it is you call them little right?
Yeah.
And you call them slackers, right? And you call them worse than that.
Right.
And to me, that's not a good way to make a kid feel really good about who they are and what they're doing. And you're doing that out of frustration.
Right.
You're not an evil woman, but you're really frustrated and you're looking in the wrong places here. And as a result, your kids are getting some horribly bad messages. But at this point, I'm advocating for your children. I'm advocating for your children. And do you realize you are a pivotal person in their life?
I do.
You're a pivotal person in their life. You are shaping who they are. And he's sitting there saying, okay, my mom's called me names twice this morning, tried to put me up for adoption whenever I was born, and wishes she was in Mexico surfing instead of having to be here to be my mother. You know what? I don't feel real loved. I don't feel a real sense of belongingness. I don't feel a real value and special quality about me because my own mother is giving me those messages. And that is a terrible, terrible thing for that child to carry with him every single day. Do you agree with that or disagree?
I do. And I stated that in my email as well, that maybe the reason that my son doesn't treat me with value and respect is that he doesn't feel that I value him.
Well, let me assure you. It's to get them before they get me. And I know what your attitude is here, I think, because I'm a fairly good read on people. And I think, number one, you're composing another letter in your mind right now, this note to self. What the hell were you thinking going in there talking to that guy? And I think all those names you call the kids, he's right, I'll take those off of their list, put them on his, okay? Because I think what your sense is that I've got you up here and I'm going to beat you up. That's the last thing I want to do. But let me tell you something. You can't change what you don't acknowledge. You are not a victim. Okay. In this life, you get what you ask for, and you are frustrated because you don't have what you want. Isn't that right?
That's right.
And do not be ashamed of that. There is nothing wrong with being frustrated for not having what you want in this life. I want you to want what you want in this life. And if you're like me and everybody else, you want what you want when you want it, and that's right now, right? I understand that. There's nothing wrong with you wanting more than what you have. What's wrong is you got to grow up. You got to grow up. Sometimes you make the right decision. Sometimes you make the decision right. You might not have made the right decision when you got involved with Mr. Wonderful. You might not have made the right decision when you decided to have these children, but you did. You can call it right, wrong, whatever. What it is. You do have those children right now, and you need to quit blaming them for things they can't control. You need to let them know, and you need to apologize to them. You need to apologize to them. You need to say, you know what? I had my compass was off. I thought I was going north, and I was going west, and I met an old boy today that straightened my compass out, because this doesn't have anything to do with you. I've been mad at you guys. I've been frustrated with you guys. I've been blaming you guys for decisions I made and situations I own. And what I've got to do is come up with a plan to get what I want in my life. I got to come up with a plan. I don't want you to just say, well, okay, he's right. I just got to go home and be a mother and get a smile on my face. You know, that's not what I'm telling you. I'm saying come up with a plan where you can get the most of what you want while doing what you need to do. I don't know how you define success, but I can tell you how good of a mother you are, how nurturant you are to these young people, and how proud they feel of themselves when they walk in a room ought to be on your short list of definitions. Okay? That ought to be on your short list. I don't want you off the list. I just want children back on the list. Okay? I want you to take care of yourself. Because you can think about, I can sit around and think, boy, if I'd never gotten married and had children, just think all the money I'd have today. And you know what? I'd be real lonely. I'd be real lonely while I was doing it. We're talking with moms who are being sometimes candid, sometimes not, about their attitudes about motherhood. Victoria gave up her teaching career to stay at home and raise her 2 babies. But now there are far too many days where she can't stand her own child.
Most of the time I feel like I'm a bad mom. I feel totally helpless and I feel like a failure.
The main problem is that my wife gets very frustrated when my daughter is throwing temper tantrums.
She starts screaming, she'll throw herself down on the ground. She starts to hit herself. She'll hit herself in the face, hit herself on the leg, flailing her arms. She looks like she's possessed.
Stop screaming, stop it.
When I get angry with my daughter, I feel like hurting her. I called her a snotty-nosed little brat. Being pushed to that point is very scary. My question to DrPhil is whether or not my kids would be better off if they spent less time with me, because I just don't know what to do.
let me answer your last question first, okay? Because you said, I want to ask Dr. Phil whether or not my children would be better off spending less time with me. And the answer to that question right now as we sit here is an unequivocal yes. Unequivocally, yes. And I acknowledge your courage for asking the question. You could stay home and just go through all of this, but instead you're asking for some help about it, and I acknowledge your willingness to be here, John, as well. Now, let me tell you, it is not casually that I say that to you. How do you feel about my response?
Relieved, I guess.
Tell me about that.
I want to be a really good mom to my kids, and I want my kids to grow up and feel self-esteem and confidence, and feel like they're the special people that they are. And I'm worried about getting pushed to the limit with the frustration level and saying things and doing things out of anger that will harm them and that I will regret. And I don't want to do that.
Well, see, like some people in some situations, I take very seriously what people say, and when you say to me, I'm scared because I get to a breaking point and I don't know what I'm going to do, I hear that. You may sometimes feel like you're yelling into the wind and nobody's hearing you. I hear you. Do you hear that?
Yes.
Do you realize what she's saying? She's saying, I'm not proud of this. I don't want this. This isn't something that I think is a good thing. But I'm telling you, I'm running out of coping skills here. I'm running out of coping energy here. And I'm telling you, before I do something stupid, before I get mad and in anger, lash out and hit this child or shake this child or do something. And you hear that?
Yes, I do.
Because that means you, Dad, whether you would want to or choose it or not, have got to intervene in this situation and do some things to decompress the situation. See, I think you're being completely and totally honest, and you have no idea what that means to me in terms of my ability to affect your situation. You can't change what you don't acknowledge, and you're saying, I am up against the wall here. And the fact that she acknowledges that means that that is something that can change and be fixed. We're talking about what most mothers won't dare say out loud. Do y'all get that? I mean, because I don't know how you look at Victoria and John here, but I think there are millions of moms who get up against that in their day and say, you know, I need to get away from here for a minute, or because I'm not handling this well. Do y'all agree with that? How do you feel about what you're hearing her say? Are you surprised, shocked, concerned?
I'm not surprised at all. You know, I see it and hear it every day. You know, there's times that she'll call me at work and say that, you know, the kids are driving her crazy, and, you know, I do my best to cut away early from work and come home and give her a break and, you know, let her take off to the coffee shop or something and just kind of calm down and start over. Okay,
and you have really encouraged her to be a stay-at-home mom and not work outside the home, right?
Correct.
And you've strongly encouraged that, right? You feel strongly about it, that that's been the best thing?
I thought it was the best thing, yes.
Okay, how you feel about that now?
Different. I was really surprised to hear you say that it's in the best interest of the children that she not spend as much time with them. I've always heard, you know, from society that, you know, the mother should always be with the children and, if possible, to be a stay-at-home mom. It's just kind of seems like that's what society wants you to believe.
Yeah, because that's what they say, right?
That's what they say, right?
Yeah. And, you know, I've driven all up and down streets all over this country, and I've never seen they incorporated anywhere. It's like, I don't know who they is,
right,
but they got their heads so far in the clouds that you have to, Lawyers are back there going, he can't say that. But the truth is, you have to look at these things on a case-by-case basis, okay? And let me tell you what's going on here. There is an old saying, what I fear, I create, and that is exactly what happens here. I'll promise you, I hate it when I sound like a shrink, but when I watch that tape, it's like two people looking in a mirror. One of them's just a little taller than the other, because that child is reflecting you. You've got frustration, you've got anxiety, you've got pain, you've got angst, you've got all of these bad feelings going on in you, and that child is mirroring those back to you right and left. It's what we call an auto-exacerbating syndrome. You can impress all of your friends with that at lunch tomorrow. Auto-exacerbating syndrome. Auto is self, exacerbating worse. This is a situation that makes itself worse, and you guys are spiraling down the drain. I mean, the more frustrated you get, the more frustrated she gets. The more frustrated she gets, the more tense you get. She reads that in your body language. She hears it in your voice. She sees it in your eyes. She sees it in the way you slam doors and throw stuff around. And she just gets more tense and more tense. And the more she does, then the more you're slamming, the more you're tight. All of that. Do you see what's happening here? So I don't care what they says. It's time to break that cycle. You can't get down there in this emotional slugfest with a 2-year-old child.
I agree.
You've got to get out of that. And the first thing to do is decompress by having some separate time. And then you've got to change some things going on in your head. Now tell me what you think about what I'm saying.
I fully agree.
You thank God somebody does today. I feel like I'm up here talking to myself. Somebody tap on your TV screen so I know you're out there. No, you agree why?
I agree because I need to, what is jumping out at me is that I need to decompress. I need some time away to decompress. And I just don't, I guess on one hand, I feel selfish for that. I want somebody to tell me it's not selfish for me to do that. Or
to do
that
what?
I'm, to do something for myself that helps me to decompress. I feel like I'm supposed to be strong enough that I shouldn't have to do that, or I don't.
Well, can I jump in here?
Okay.
It is not selfish for you to do something for yourself, because you have to take care of yourself before you can take care of others. Okay? So what you have to do is you have to take care of yourself responsibly. That doesn't mean that you just put some dry food on the garage floor, put the kids out there and say, I'm taking the day off. You know, you can't do that. That's not doing it. Now, see, she liked that idea. She's saying, she said, I thought I agreed with him before. I really agree with him now. You can't, you have to do this responsibly, right?
Right.
You have to do it responsibly.
Right.
What you have to do is say, look, I do need some decompression time. And listen, I don't know what's right or wrong. They say this is the right thing to do. They say that's the wrong thing to do. I say, how's it working for you? There is no repository of all knowledge with what's right and wrong. In this situation, John, at this time, Victoria being a stay-at-home mom is not working. It's not working, and the child is picking up the tab for that.
You know, when you said that, I mean, here we are talking about, oh, Jade is uncontrollable, and you know, what are we going to do and with her, and when you say that she's mirroring me, that's a new thought. I hadn't considered that before, but that's really hits home. It's like, wow, that really hits home. It scares me. It really makes me realize that I have to do something. I have to control myself, I guess.
Do you realize she will continue to mirror you?
Right.
And as you get happy, calm, peaceful, and proud,
Oh yeah, I guess that's part of it too.
then she will reflect happy, calm, peaceful, and proud. Because I'll tell you, is it good for a mom to spend time with her children? Maybe. It depends on how the time is being spent. But I'll promise you, she would rather spend 2 hours in your lap at the end of the day reading a story and laughing and giggling and getting tickled and brushing her hair than she would in that scream fest that you were calling togetherness a few minutes ago. When Andrea's mother was dying, she was torn between her own children and caring for her mom. You just can't be in two places at once. Now her children are paying the price.
What does motherhood mean to me? Pain. After losing my mother in January of 2001, I have not been able to look at my kids the same way. The last 2 weeks of my mother's life, she was in the hospital all the time. I wanted to be with her, but I had to come home for my family. I feel like the last days with her were cut short because of my kids, and I am angry. After she died, I shut down. I did not want to be a mother anymore. I feel guilty feeling this way. I should be happy with my children instead of tired, angry, and impatient. I know this is not the way my mother would want it to be. Dr. Phil, please help me recover before it's too late. Painfully, Andrea.
We just saw a tape piece from Andrea who says that she resents her children because they took her away from her mother in those last moments in this world. Tell me what you say to yourself about that on a day-to-day basis. Is this something you think about every day?
Every day when I wake up. There's not a day that goes by that I don't think about my mom. As soon as I wake up to the time I go to bed.
And how long ago did you lose your mom?
A little over a year ago.
A little over a year ago. But where is the part that you decided that these kids are worthy of your resentment and?
Well, they're not worthy of the resentment, but my feeling at the time when Matthew was born and my mom was dying, that I had to be there with her because I'm her only daughter and I wanted to be with her all the time in the hospital. And I couldn't do that because I had to go home. And in my heart, there's a resentment to my family because I needed to spend more time with my mother and I couldn't.
But does that seem rational to you as you think about it now?
No, but that's the way I feel.
Okay, but that doesn't make it okay. I mean, you said no, but. Is that rational? No, but. Forget that it's not rational. I'm going to embrace that anyway. And very predictably, you're upset because you lost her.
Yes.
And are you mad that she was taken from you?
Of course. It was a fluke thing that happened, and I wish she was still here to help me.
And how, who do you blame for this fluke thing?
My family, I think. I'm blaming my family.
I mean, really, tell me what a child should say if it was straight up where you just said, okay, my mother's dead and it's your fault. Okay? If that's the message they get, what are they supposed to say to themselves about that?
We don't speak that way to the kids.
Oh, well, of course you don't.
But DJ does know that Grandma's gone. We tell him that she's with the angels. But he is starting to realize that if Mommy's in a bad mood or if I'm short with them, he says to me, are you sad about Grandma? And he's only 4.
Okay, so if you're being frustrated with him, if you're being short with him, then at 4 years old, he's made the connection that somehow this has to do with Grandma.
Yes, he's just now making that connection.
And let me tell you something. Let me tell all of you something that you need to know. Whenever children get a vague or ambiguous message, they fill in the gaps to their detriment. Let me assure you that, you get a divorce and you don't say anything to them about it, they're over here saying, I don't know what happened, but it had to be me. If I hadn't eaten so much, if I hadn't made so much noise, if I hadn't gotten sick last summer, if I wasn't here, then Daddy would still be here. And I'm not giving you my opinion about this. I have talked to thousands of children across 30 years. They fill it in to their detriment. And if they're saying, Mom is upset because grandma is gone, and every time she gets that way, she turns on me. I'll guarantee you, some way in that 4-year-old logic, in that 4-year-old mind, he is feeling responsible for that situation. And isn't that a pretty good read on his part concerning how you're treating him about it?
Yes, it is.
And is that in any way fair at all?
No, it's not fair.
And do you think that your mother would be mad at you for taking care of your children and loving them and going and being with them, whether she was in the hospital or not? Would she expect you to go be who you are and do what you have?
Yes, that's what she wanted.
I mean, isn't that exactly what she would want?
Yes.
Because let me tell you, one of the things that we hated, my mom is 78 and fighting cancer right now. And I'm going to be so sorry and so sad when I lose her. It's not if, it's when, because there ain't any of us getting out of this alive, okay? I mean, she will go. It's just a matter of when she will. And I'm going to miss her when she does. I missed my dad when I buried him. But it's the cycle of life. It's the cycle of life. And you can't change that. But you can love those children. And don't you think it's time that you quit using them as a place to vent your anger? If you're going to be angry at God. He can take it. He can handle it. Trust me. Trust me. He can handle it. If you just got to be angry, go somewhere that somebody has some relevant involvement in it. And your children don't have the ability, DJ doesn't have the ability to say to you, I didn't do anything wrong. Quit being mad at me and just love me again. He can't say that. So I'm saying it for him. And it truly is a choice, and it's one you can make. Deal?
Deal.
Do you have a story or a question for me? Click the link in the description and tell me what in the world is going on.